Welcome here to episode 1 of Talkin Ball with Coach Gut. I'm Jeff Jazeski alongside the Coach Gut, Mike Gatelius, as we get ready for a season opener coming up against McDaniel. Coach, before we get into that, before we get into anything else, it's a long camp, but how's camp going? What are your vibes like? How's the team feeling as we have 2 scrimmages in the book and a whole lot of practices done?
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of good work in, and the guys have been they've been great, focused, pushing themselves really hard. It's been a little different feeling. You know, we had 2 new coordinators this year. We had to staff did some readjusting, moving guys around, and so there's been some adjustment that the guys have had to get used to. But it's been really exciting to see guys just dig in, and they're sponges. They want to soak up the football. They want to learn it, and then they want to get out here and grind. And you know, it's been hot a few days. And, you know, to be safe, we have to cut the time back. And it's funny to see how annoyed they get, you know, when they're getting their practice time taken away. I'm not sure when I played I would have had the same attitude that these guys have. But that, you know, that's encouraging to me to see that's what they want to do.
Coach, not the first time you've talked about this offseason, but we're in a new conference now. No more new MAC football. The Landmark now sponsoring football with the addition of Wilkes and Lycoming, and then Keystone on a football level. Your travel load gets lighter. You have some familiar opponents. Your area regionally makes a lot more sense now. How much does that change, you know, not the day-to-day of practice, but just your planning for the year?
You know, I wind up doing a lot of the travel planning, and you know, we were in the new MAC just long enough for me to know whether the hotels where we want to stay in and where they weren't, and so I've had to, you know, sort of rework that and find good places to stay. But that is greatly outweighed by the fact that we're not going to have to leave every Friday morning at 7 a.m. and then drive across the Hudson and through New York City up to Boston or Norwich, Vermont, or something like that. So, you know, when your furthest away trip in the conference is going to be the Scranton area, I can live with that. And it's a very different feel. You know, there's a lot of unknowns among these opponents, and we're going to have to. You know, I'm sure rivalries will grow, and it's going to really bloom into. I mean, the competitive teams that are in it make it really exciting. So we're looking forward to all those things, and then even more to just be under the same umbrella as the rest of the sports. Just to know that we're going to have a chance to add towards the President's Cup, you know, for the Landmark champion. I think that the guys are excited about that as well.
You know, Coach, on Friday, September 1st at 7 o'clock right here in Cardinal Stadium, this place is going to be buzzing. It's going to be blacked out. There's going to be people ready to go after waiting, you know, 10 months for football to come back into their lives. How exciting is it that you know you're going to have that environment week 1? Yeah,
that's big. It's, you know, that's the first game, so that's always huge. The guys are just amped. But to make it, you know, an opponent who's not very far away, you know, they're about 45 miles away, and a traditional opponent, it's just really exciting to be able to do it on a Friday night and to involve, you know, get everybody from across campus here and get it under the lights. And just to see that the people pulling together to make it happen, to make it a big event. I'm going to be, you know, it doesn't matter to me necessarily because once the game starts, I don't hear the fans and none of that. But it really does add to the experience for the guys to know that you've got the stands full and there's people cheering and the game turns into one of those things that they'll remember. You know, they'll come back in 30 years to homecoming and say, do you remember that Friday night game against McDaniel? You know, and that'll be something they talk about. And so that's important. But the most important thing from my side as the coach is we got to take care of business.
And the final question I have for you, Coach, is, you know, you have 2 scrimmages in the books. You've been out here grinding through practice for almost a month now. What, over the next couple of days leading up to that first game, what is the key thing you need to accomplish during that time to be prepared for Friday Night Lights?
Well, we have to focus on us. You know, we have to, you know, the opener is always a tough game because there's going to be some mistakes. You have to iron some things out. And it's a cliche, whoever makes the least mistakes is going to come out the winner, but it's a cliche for a reason. And so we have to work on us. We have to get lots of situational work in. We have to make sure we're ready for 2-minute offense and 4-minute defense and, you know, those kind of things. You know, and so we're going to be working on a lot of the situational parts of a game this week to make sure that we are ready to go, because what you don't want to do is get into a game and find yourself like, oh man, we didn't get enough goal line work in and we're not ready to handle that offensively or defensively, or you know what, we didn't work on a field goal without timeouts and now you're not ready. You got to do so. You want to make sure you handle all of those things that may not happen in a game, but if you don't practice them, then you're pretty much guaranteeing that they're going to happen. So a lot of that is just very situational work. and then staying on it, and again focusing on us. What do we do well? How are we going to get better at it? And making sure that we know, our competition is who we were yesterday. Can we be better today than we were yesterday? If we can do that, then I'm excited about where we're going.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. We're excited to be here next Friday against McDaniel for the home opener.
Thanks, Jeff.